Hi, Sloan. I'm not sure why, but the baby decided to take an extra 2 weeks to bake. The day I went into labor, I woke because my husband had to start guard duty in the morning, and my brother Bo, who slept in the very next room and had just pulled, I believe, a 36-hour shift, had just gotten to bed. I mean, I heard his boots drop, and I went to use the bathroom. When I came back a little bit panicked, I asked him what a mucus plug looked like because I thought I may have just passed mine. I had a minor twinge of pain. All I heard as I went into my room to put on pants and boots was what sounded like a bunch of things falling in his room, and I figured better safe than sorry. So I got ready to walk to the hospital, which was literally 2 to 3 blocks away, and I began waddling my way down the stairs. Bo, running like a madman, blew past me on the stairs, stopping to check after passing me to see if I was all right, then continuing like a Tasmanian devil on crack down the stairs. By the time I had gotten to the first floor from the fourth, my husband was relieved of his duty, and my brother and 5 brothers were already discussing how they were going to carry me to the hospital. Daddy and I were the only 2 people who were making any kind of sense, which is saying a lot since we rarely ever did. I explained to Daddy that the pain was minimal and I could make the walk. He then allowed us to go, so long as Bobby called, giving constant updates, calling the payphone in front of the clubhouse. I was examined at the first hospital and told that the labor wasn't far enough along, and I had to be taken in an ambulance to a hospital that, 1, took my insurance, and 2, had a labor and delivery ward. The next 36 hours were hell, only because I had never experienced any of this before. I was frightened, which was made worse by the complications during labor, where my son thought it would be cool if mommy's spine were straight instead of curvy. This was intensified by doctors, more than 3 of them, telling me that if he continued to press, I might leave the hospital in a wheelchair, given my previous injuries to the spine. They were trying to talk me out of natural childbirth and into a C-section. Adding insult to injury was the fact that I had to stay calm for the husband, who was on the verge of panic. By the time JB was born, my husband ran off to call his dad and his mom. I think I took a nap because, 1, epidurals, yay, and they dull the pain of a tiny human ripping their way out of you with the pain that can only be described as shoveling their way out using a needle-sized knife for a shovel, with the intense added pressure behind it like a pile driver. And 2, natural childbirth fucking sucks. Ow. All I know is that the nurse was wheeling in my beautiful little, not too little, 7 pounds, 15.8 ounce monster I had only just the day before, and for months called my little alien because of how he moved around in my belly. And she seemed scared but wanting to tell me something. I grabbed up my baby and I asked her what was wrong. She informed me that in the moment there were about 30 scary bikers in the lobby insisting on coming upstairs to see their baby, each one claiming to be the father. And I couldn't help but laugh in her face with a resounding, "Ha! Of course they are." Not being legally married to my husband caused my dad and brothers to make a mad dash in the van from the front of the hospital to the first notary that they could find so that my husband could legitimize my son on his birth certificate. After a bit of an argument between both sides of the family, we settled on a name, and we were finally ready to take the baby home. Now we were aware of the fact that the baby couldn't live at the clubhouse, so in their mad dash, which was described to me as multiple members of the hospital staff, it looked like a bank job getaway with them all running into the van and peeling out over and over again. My husband secured us a room at a boarding house 2 blocks away from the clubhouse, and until we could get something better. Yay. So that is the birth of my firstborn.